It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
That's right, it's here, the official start of the new NBA season. I'm Ernie Johnson, excited to be here once again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith for another go-around. Tonight, it'll be the Detroit Pistons going up against the Utah Jazz. And for Utah, they went 2-0 against this team last season, looking to continue that string of victories tonight. And as we take a few moments here, Shaq, the term basketball IQ is constantly thrown around these days. What exactly is meant by that? Because I don't have it.
Ernie, I have no
IQ.
idea. You know, you can be smarter than me if you want to. You can be a Rhodes Scholar, but you know what I will do to you. Doesn't necessarily mean you make good decisions on the basketball court. Basketball IQ, that term is overrated.
Maybe Kenny has an answer to this one.
Well, I think most people, when they first hear about it, they're talking about seeing the floor, having the ability to operate in the flow of the game and understand the time and score relationship. That's what a basketball IQ is. Like not taking a three-point shot with 24 seconds on the shot clock when you're up 9.
Not fouling a jump shoot.
Yeah, that's basketball IQ.
Okay, thank you. Kevin Harlan has a very high basketball IQ. Shaq has it too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He just doesn't like it.
I went to BYB, Bust Your Butt University.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, and we're ready to bring you all the action. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke reporting on the sideline. Coming in off the road, the Pistons are back in Detroit for this game. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season. They took the loss in this East versus West matchup during the regular season last year, dropping both games.
And in their 2 matchups last season, they came up empty both times. Not really too shocking when you see how they fared overall.
Exactly. I mean, when you lose as much as they did last year, you'll get beat by teams that aren't playoff powers for sure.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And so in the game for the Jazz, Burks the off guard with Hayward at the 3. Leather is out there with Doc, and it's the monster in at the point guard position. So the Utah Jazz able to put the first points up on the board. Tolliver kicks to Johnson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Caldwell Pope. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And guys, you know, Cantavius Caldwell Pope, this guy screams potential at you. I mean, perfect size and length and speed for a 2 guard. He plays both ends. Right now, it's all about consistency for him.
On the topic of Caldwell Pope, he's the kind of guy who needs a year to feel his way around. In college, Greg, you may recall he showed dramatic improvement between years 1 and 2. The same thing has been true in the pros.
Yeah, and he has everything going for him. I mean, excellent outside shot, tremendous defensive tools. He just needs to add some strength and stay in attack mode to reach the next level in his development.
Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
That's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs if they were in the East.
Here is Doc. They set the pick. The monster passes to Hayward. And again, it's the Jazz from deep.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
Jazz on D.
You know, for the Jazz, you mentioned their post-All-Star break surge. I mean, that 19-10 record they had after the break was good enough for 6th best in the league.
Now, here's Drummond. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. I mean, he dominated the backboard.
Here's the monster after the made shot from Andre Drummond. Passes it to Doc. Right wing, here's Burks. And there's another one for the Jazz.
And really, the Jazz were a team nobody wanted to play after the break. They were over 500 against the rest of the West and had some big wins over playoff teams in the process.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick 2 at the other end. That's losing basketball.
Especially when you can't afford to give up any buckets. That's a nice lead now.
Caldwell Pope wishes to Drummond. Johnson against Hayward. There's a screen. This one for three. Rebound, Utah. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played, here's Burks. Can't get it to go. And Detroit the other way. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
And listen, you have to take advantage of the previous. And on that night, they did not. And that is why they just could not recover.
Exactly. I mean, they left too much cheese at the foul line. And in the end, it mattered on the scoreboard and cost them.
Here's the monster. Pass to George. All alone. And that one off the back of the rim and in.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's key to this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
Now here's Jackson. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
And he also was a table setter in that game, Kevin. Just an amazing job of his passing. Just a joy to watch that. Man, that is not an easy shot right there. I mean, he had to get it off over a much taller defender.
Yeah, he needed to add just a little more loft on that one because of the size mismatch, and he did it perfectly.
Now here's Jackson looking for his first basket still in this one. Johnson with it, and Burks picks him up defensively. Johnson draws the double. Jackson kicks to Caldwell Pope. Offline with his three. Jazz leading by 6. Here's the monster. Hayward outside. George sets a screen for Hayward. The pass to the monster. It's hauled in by Tolliver.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Outside Jackson. That's to Drummond. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to go on Gordon Hayward. And guys, Andre Drummond has made quite an impression in the early stages of his career. Clark, you were just talking about that. Greg, I don't think anyone felt he would have such an impact this fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's already a mountain of a man among boys. I mean, it's hard to believe when you look at this guy out there. He's only 22 years old.
The first free throw is good.
Going back to Andre Drummond, some say there aren't any true centers entering the NBA these days. But I look at Andre, I look at DeMarcus Cousins, Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, and I think to myself, what are these people talking about?
No good on the second free throw.
And talking about Andre Drummond, I remember when he fell to number 9 on draft day. All sorts of experts were making excuses as to why. But even then, there was this eerie feeling that some teams had made a huge mistake in passing on him. And that feeling turned out to be correct.
Now here's Hayward. 6 points for him. And it's good. Lamonce's got his second bucket.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this league.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
Utah leading by 7. Now let's send it down to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Stan Van Gundy.
When I asked him what some of his main concerns are today, and he said they're dealing with a team that can really light it up from the perimeter. And therefore, it's essential that they not give up too many open looks from out there, or it could spell trouble all game long, Kevin.
Doris, thank you. Obviously, Clark, the 3-ball is a big concern for any defense.
Well, yeah, it is, Kevin, but the upside is you're not getting broken down in the lane and you're not giving them free throws, but you still have to challenge those shots.
Here's Jackson after the basket by Utah. It's hauled in by George. George has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's the monster. There's a good screen. Off the screen. And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
Yeah, not afraid of the physical play, but he still needs to stay under control.
Yeah, he obviously was not under control right there. Not much doubt he was going to get whistled for the over-the-back call.
Morris is checked in for Anthony Tolliver. Fans had a hard time finding their way to the stadium last season for the Pistons at the bottom in several home attendance categories last year.
Yeah, that's right in Auburn Hills. I know. I mean, they used to go a lot when they were winning championships. But to be fair to those fans, it was hard at times to watch the Pistons play. I mean, they could get cold and really struggle on their home floor.
And the Pistons decide to take their first time out right here.
And they've gotten good looks, so that's one reason they're frustrated. Maybe he can come up with something to get them an easy one, maybe get to the line.
Yeah, that may be the answer for them. But you know what else, Greg? Ultimately, I think because they're getting good shots, they'll make a better percentage of them going forward.
Pistons trail by 9. Here's Caldwell Pope. Drummond, a screen. Here's Caldwell Pope. Burks covering. And shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
And for the Pistons, a lot of their woes here at home were due to defense. I mean, their 18-23 home record comes from allowing too many good looks for their opponents.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Utah.
And so far, these guys have done a fantastic job finding the open man and getting some easy baskets.
Another thing they've been doing so far tonight is knocking down the jump shot.
And the Pistons, how about starting out 2-13 at home? I mean, they did turn it around afterwards, going 16-10 to finish out the season. At least they seem to be headed in the right direction.
Here's Hood. Hayward on the wing. Jazz passing it around. Shot clock at 6. Here's the monster, and he slams it one-handed.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
And the basket by Jackson.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Here's the monster. 8 points for him. Passes it to Doc. They set the pick. Off the pick. And he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
This is to Hood. Jackson against Hayward. And there's the pass to Doc. Hood kicks to Hayward. Here is Doc. Releases. And again, it's Utah.
Make it 10 of their last 12 points coming off assists.
You have to love the ball movement.
Jackson passes to Caldwell Pope. Drummond is screen. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
It took him a while, but he finally gets one to fall.
Jazz leading by 8. Here's the monster. There's the dish to Hayward. And taken away by Johnson. Outside Jackson. There's the feed to Drummond. With the fadeaway. Drummond with another miss.
And good defense there to play up and get a hand in the face.
Well, he's got a tough mindset. He's confident as a defender. And when you combine those two things, it makes it real hard to score on him.
Morris with the rebound.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
Now here's Johnson. 14 points from him the last game against the Hawks in Atlanta. And it's Drummond missing.
The defense ready. strong in the paint.
There's the bucket. Good. And that's now 11 points for the Monster.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. And in an era where so many guys take the money and run, Gordon Hayward did the best he could to live up to his new contract. Clark, last year, a 4-year max deal signed heading into last season.
Yeah, and the way max contracts work nowadays, even the upper mid-tier guys are getting them. A trend that will probably continue, at least in the near future. I don't like it, though. There are only a small number of guys that are really max contract players in the NBA.
Different look here for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Granger comes in for Johnson. Spencer Dinwiddie's checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Pistons trail by 11.
And when you get back to Hayward, last year his points per game were way up. But really impressive, his shooting percentages. His shooting percentages were way up. That's a big step forward, I believe, in his development. And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Well, I don't think there's any question about it. They came focused and ready to play. I mean, they're doing everything they can to put things in their favor. You earn that, and they're actually earning it well right now.
Shot clock at 5. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. Here's Ingles. Again, the Jazz score.
You know, on the topic of whether Hayward is a true max prospect, he did some things last year to at least argue that he is. He was stronger, a lot more aggressive going to the rim. His defense improved, too. He'll need another year of development like that to silence the doubters.
Here's Baines. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. Baines has got his first bucket in this one. 1:06 left in the first. Nice ball movement by Utah. Up and in, off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
He's hit the ground running here in the first, putting together a nice quarter offensively.
Here's Dinwiddie. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Over to the left wing. Ingles. Off target from three-point range. Pistons trail by 13. The Pistons shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
And as a unit, guys, they only shot 70% from the line over the course of last season. Not the kind of percentage that they were hoping for.
And that just has to improve, guys. I mean, the free throw shooting is something that has to get better. You're immediately putting yourself at a disadvantage when you shoot that poorly from the line.
The first free throw is good.
And really last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
Vaughn's checked in for the Jazz. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Well, as you said, Greg, the Pistons were a team that showed marked improvement, and Clark, they did clean up their play style as well.
Yeah, they got better from 2014 to 15 in terms of upping their assists and cutting down the turnovers. Just made it a much more enjoyable game to watch the way they play.
Pass to Wiles, 5 on the clock. Here is Doc, covered by Morris. Here's Doc. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Morris outside. Pass to Dinwiddie. Sees the alley-oop. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. Jazz lead by 11. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And guys, the Jazz enjoying a nice lead here.
They come out the gates here strong and put together just a solid first quarter.
A ton of good looks for him, Greg, on offense, and it's quality shots they're getting.
Pistons trail by 11. On the floor for Utah, getting going here in the second quarter. Here's the screen. Blake dishes to Baines. The lead now in single digits. Baines has got the first basket of the second quarter for the Pistons. Utah's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Feeds to Ingles. Pass to Lyles. Just 5 on the clock. Here is Dodd. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And we all know Utah is a very young team. Last year, only the 76ers were younger. Still very competitive given the age and the lack of experience from this group.
All right, now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And that one misses. Mark, an interesting fact about the Jazz and their age last year. At one point, they didn't even have the oldest starting 5 in the state of Utah. Now think of this. The starting 5 of BYU, Greg and I were just talking about this, had an older average than Utah did.
Yeah, amazing. You look at the ages of Exum and Gobert and Favors. Makes sense that would be the case. Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
And so it's Utah here with the ball. After the basket by Detroit. There's a screen. Here's the monster, and he goes in for the dunk.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his MO.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 2 years, has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach, and his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
Detroit making a switch. Johnson's checked in. George is checked in for Utah. The monster passes to Lyles. He dishes it to George. And the pass to the monster. Back to George. Goes up to the stripe. That one a little long. Pistons trail by 9. Jackson kicks to Tolliver. Back to Jackson. Offline from the top of the key.
I love the anticipation defensively there to get into the perfect spot.
Moment here now for an injury report. Let's get an update on Drummond. What's the status there, Doris?
Yes, Kevin, I spoke with the head athletic trainer for Detroit. He said he's having back spasms and it's causing him a lot of pain. That's a bitter pill for them to swallow at such an early stage of the season. It really changes the look of this entire team, guys.
Thanks, Doris. Guys, the only thing you can wish for is that the prognosis isn't quite as bad as they're making it out to be.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Was really hoping for better news than that, but that does not sound encouraging.
It sure doesn't. I mean, that's a really hard blow there.
They set the pick. The monster passes to Lyles. George up top. Here's the monster, guarded by Jackson. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Well, we've seen him before. He does not allow you to just get easy baskets. He's always going to make you work for it.
Here's Baines. He's got 6, and that one's good.
The chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Here's the monster after the basket by Detroit. To the middle. Lyles passes to George. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. And the foul on the monster. That'll be his second foul of the game. Andre Drummond's checked in for Detroit. Caldwell Pope comes in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And Utah with a change here, too. Burks is checked in. Here's Caldwell Pope. Burks covering. They set the pick. It's good, and the Jazz really cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Caldwell Pope.
They started the game off tortoise-like, but their offense coming to life.
Yeah, they've got a little bit more pep in their step as they start to put together some rhythm.
Here's Lyles. Burks kicks to George. Hayward with the ball. And it's Johnson picking him up. On the clock. Back to George. From outside the arc. Burks can't get it to go. Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping. But I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes he has that sophomore jinx. And I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
You know, for Drummond last season, his numbers were relatively the same. The expectations placed on him were so hard for him to live up to. Maybe now those will be tempered a bit and he'll play better.
And another thought on Drummond, a lot more was expected of him last year, and he saw more attention. Even though his numbers were close to the same, I really felt his impact on the floor was not.
Rodney Hood's checked in for Gordon Hayward. So he comes up empty, missing both.
And you know, Utah might not have finished 500 on the season, but they did finish 500 against the Eastern Conference. Went 15-15 last season.
The drive by Jackson. Rebound, Utah. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Burks with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Here's the monster. He's got 13. Fires for 3. Kicks it to Burks. He feeds it to George. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. For the Jazz getting those wins, Greg, out of conference, we was talking about that, was a big key for them. Helps them keep pace, Clark, in this rugged Western Conference.
And I thought the Jazz got better and better as the season wore on. They started slowly against the East last year, but won 5 of their last 6 out of conference. What a performance. Just look at the game for the monster. He's got 14 points and a decent little assist total for him, too.
No doubt. They'd like to see that carry over to the rest of the team. Get good assist numbers all the way around. As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Boy, it certainly appears to be the case, Greg. I mean, they've spent a lot of time at the foul line this quarter, and that's the result of attacking the rim and being physical.
Utah leading by 7. He kicks it to Burks. There's the pick. Outside, George. Pass to the monster. They double him with Drummond. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And the Pistons making a change here. Morris is checked in. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter. So here's Caldwell Pope. Brooks covering. Drummond sets the screen for Jackson. Dishes it to Morris. Excellent D there from George.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
Now, here's George. Hood kicks to George. Just 5 on the clock. Now, here's Brooks. Passes to the monster. Pass to Wiles. There's the dish to Hood. Now the pass to the monster. George against Drummond. A second chance effort. George with the bucket. George has got 6.
Better to be lucky than good. Got that shot to fall.
Now Jackson. Jackson had made some noise about wanting a big contract to be moved last year. Ultimately, he was traded to Detroit.
Yep, Kevin traded from the Thunder to the Pistons, and it actually happened on deadline day.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Shooting free throws.
The free throw drops for Jackson. Steve Blake's checked in for the Pistons. And so he makes both from the line. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Jazz.
Obviously, there's some things out there he does not like and wants to talk it over.
Well, Greg, you play and you envision yourself as a coach as well. So, sometimes you make some adjustments.
Rangers checked in for Jackson. And Utah with a change here, too. Doc, he's checked in for Watt. Jazz leading by 7. Nato guarded by Blake. There's a good screen. Here's Doc. The Jazz with another miss.
You can see how much the defense respects him. I mean, they were all over him on that one.
Blake kicks to Caldwell Pope. Fires the 3. Detroit, no good that time either.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
The feed to Hood. He dishes it to George. Shot clock at 3. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. George has got 6 points in the quarter.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
Blake dishes to Morris. Granger outside. Out to the right wing. Here's Caldwell Pope. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Well, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one.
Pass to Dodd. Morris with the rebound.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys. But as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
Here's Blake. And it's sent back by George. And that one's good. Caldwell Pope's got 8. Utah leading by 7. Passes to Dodd. Feeds it to Burks. From 17 feet out, Granger with the rebound. The Pistons have gone 6 of 14 shooting here in the second. Here's Caldwell Pope. Burks covering. Blake with it. Nobody near Granger. Yes, and it's Blake picking up the assist. Now just a 5-point Jazz lead. Just a bit of an up and down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
And some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant lows.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Mark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
And, you know, those giant lulls were a big part of the Pistons' season. I mean, their biggest losing streak was 13 straight losses, and a lot of that you attribute to their defense.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
And the Pistons also went into a slump after they traded for Reggie Jackson. 1-9 after the trade deadline. That they would end the season on a better note, but truly they were streaky last season.
The Pistons making a change here. Baines is checked in. Joe Ingles is checked in for Utah. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. There's a minute 40 left now here in the second. Kicks it to George. 6 to shoot. There's the pass to Dodd. Back to George. Here's Hood. And it's off from three-point range. Blake for 3. Utah with the rebound. George has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. .102 left in the first half of basketball. Lets the 3 fly, and he gets the bucket. And now a 10-point Jazz lead.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make them pay.
Blake passes to Morris. And so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot 2.
And Marcus Morris is nicknamed Mook. He has a twin brother, older by 7 minutes, named Markeith. Both brothers played at Kansas, drafted 13th and 14th in the same year. Eventually played for the same pro team. That is joined at the hip.
Pistons have gone 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight. No good on that one. And looking at the Morris brothers' careers through last season, the one area they haven't been joined at the hip in is in performance. Markeith has shown steady improvement over his first 4 years. Marcus Morris has had a very up and down start to his career.
And you know, Kevin, Marcus has talent. He has versatility. He just hasn't found his role. It's time for him to step out of his brother's shadow and really establish who he is as a player.
Utah with the ball. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Pass to Dodd. Jazz passing it around. Out to Hayward. The shot from 20 feet away. The shot's good on the assist by George. And that's now 8 points for Gordon Hayward. Pistons trail by 11. Here's Dinwiddie. In the corner, it's Morris. And stolen by Hayward. Can't get it to go. And the first half is now in the books. Utah out in front, up by 11. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. Utah finds themselves ahead after 2 quarters. They lead by 11. Your opinion, Shaq?
Well, the shots were dropping for them. I mean, they was just dropping out of everywhere, dropping out the ceiling, dropping out the popcorn guy, man's hand, whatever. It didn't matter what the defense was. They found a way to get a good look almost every time. They just got to be patient, take as long as they need to keep finding those high percentage shots.
Over to Kenny. What you think about Detroit?
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
Begin the second half. First half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. What a game we're seeing from the monster.
And he just went off in those first 2 quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
You know, guys, I think you've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him up like he has been.
The big men, Tolliver and Drummond. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. That's the group for Detroit right now. Here's the monster. Here's the screen. Here's Burks. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. The Jazz shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
One of the worst in the league a season ago, just 72%.
And, you know, whenever they get into a stretch where it looked like maybe they would turn it around at the line, they would immediately take a step back.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season. They didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
Offensive rebound. About 1 minute played here in the second half. The monster passes to Hayward. Over Jackson. Hayward missing again. Brady, you just said the Pistons had a ton of back-to-back games. 44 were part of their back-to-backs, over half their schedule. Clark, they went 15 and 29 in those games.
And that's part of the reason why the NBA wanted to examine the schedule. I mean, it was a tough year for the Pistons. It's hard to get any momentum when you're playing that many back-to-backs.
Burks kicks to George. And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Here's the monster. Breaks a big high bounce and goes in. The monster's got 16 points.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play. Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket. On time and on target.
So it's Utah now, following the bucket by the Pistons. He feeds it to Hayward. Passes it to the monster. Down to 5 on the shot clock. George against Drummond. Snatched up the pass to the monster. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Doc the pass to the monster. Rebound, Detroit. Tolliver's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
1 for 5 on offense. A slow start here in the second half.
And it's sent back by George.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
Now here's Burks. Pass to Doc. Plenty of space. And he hits the jump shot. Doc's got the lead up to 14 now for Utah. The Pistons have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. We've seen the monster really having a great game.
He's been attacking the rim with reckless abandon. They're searching for answers. Some way they got to figure out how to contain him.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Utah Jazz saw one of the biggest year-to-year improvements in the league last season. The big part of that, of course, was their play on the road.
And, you know, Kevin, they nearly doubled their road wins from last season by getting 17 away from home. And I thought they progressively got better as the season wore on.
The Jazz making a switch here. Isles checked in. Pope dishes to Johnson. And count the basket. He is fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
And for the Jazz on the road, they look to be a team built around defense now moving forward. That should bode well for their prospects as a tough matchup as a visitor.
That's good from Johnson.
As you said with the Jazz, I mean, defense travels very well in the NBA. Teams that find ways to grind out road wins do it with really solid defense. Jazz fans have a lot to look forward to with this group.
Here is Doc. He's got 8. Clock at 6. Burks the pass to Lyles and stolen by Drummond. Caldwell Pope kicks to Drummond. Outside Jackson. Drummond a screen. From 11 feet away. That's tipped.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
And Hayward gets it to go.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
And here's Jackson. Kicks it out to Johnson, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Drummond.
Now a moment to see the numbers for Reggie Jackson. Good season for him last year. Last year averaged 14 points per game, 6 assists and 4 rebounds. And he's very steady with that second unit, running the offense and getting them into their sets.
Right. I mean, your backup point guard simply has to hold the fort, maintain the status quo, share the basketball, and minimize mistakes.
Here's the screen. The monster passes to Doc. Here's Lyles, defended by Drummond. 4 on the shot clock. Pass to the monster. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. The monster's got 18 points.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Here's Caldwell Pope. Detroit, no good that time either. Jazz leading by 16. Here's the monster. 18 points for him. Shot from the wing. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. The Pistons have gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvements here. Out of hand on it. And it's out of bounds to the Jazz as Utah retains possession. A different look for Utah. Rodney Hood's checked in for Hayward. And it's Vaughn in for Alec Burks. Here's the monster. 16-point lead, the largest margin in the game. Now the pass to Doc. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Doc's got 10 points.
No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball in the paint.
And it's a big key thus far in this game, Clark, because whenever they've gotten the ball in the paint, good things have happened.
Now here's Drummond. He has 6.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Jazz ball.
Now here the 2K leaderboard with last season's top rebounding teams. In 4th, the Pistons.
It was really an impressive campaign for their bigs. And honestly, I think the whole team did a great job of getting bodies on bodies and controlling that defensive backboard.
The monster passes to Hood. No good.
And guys, as many rookies do, Rodney Hood hit some major bumps in the road last season. I mean, he came in with the reputation of having an NBA-ready jumper, yet only hit 41% of his shots. He had that foot injury that kept him out for a string of games. However, it really all came together for him in April, the last month of the season. The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Stolen by Jackson. He kicks to Caldwell Pope. Back to Jackson to stop the run. It's hauled in by Lyles. Lyles got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And getting back to Hood, over the last 7 outings of the season, he put up 20-plus points a game. He also, Clark, raised his shooting percentage to 45% from the field, 91% from the free throw line. Pretty impressive numbers.
Well, he was drafted to be a scorer, Kevin, and you're right, very impressive. If he can do that consistently, that'll be nice value for the 23rd pick.
Here's the monster. 18 points for him. Shot clock at 3. Detroit with the rebound. Drummond's got 6 rebounds in the game. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
The drive by Jackson. Over to the wing. They set the pick. Clock at 6. Here's Caldwell Pope. Got a piece of it.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Here's Lyles. Here's Vaughn. From outside, off the mark. Johnson outside. Right side, Jackson. Dishes to Drummond. Tries to snap the cold streak. Utah with the rebound.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Pass to Vaughn. Here is Doc. The dish to Hood. And the shot's good after hitting off the rim. Hood's got 7. Pistons trail by 20. Outside Jackson. There's the screen. Charity strike shot. It's held in by Lyles.
Unfortunately, that's been the result for him over and over, guys. He just cannot find the bottom of the basket.
Here's Vaughn. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's the monster. Inside. It's tipped and stolen by Drummond. Outside Jackson. And there's the feed to Drummond. Looking to get back on track here. Rebounded by the Jazz. Lyles got his 7th rebound here tonight.
He's having a tough quarter, scoring the basketball, unable to help them close this gap.
Feeds it to Hood. Here's Lyles. Pass to Vaughn. Just 5 to shoot. Here's the monster. No good. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Caldwell Pope wishes to Tolliver. And that one's good. Tolliver's got 4 points in the quarter.
Boy, he picked him out brilliantly with that feed inside.
And guys, he's not the tallest or most imposing wing player, but Stanley Johnson has incredible strength and really unmatched confidence. One reason why so many were high on him in the draft.
And the Jazz call time here. And for Johnson out of Arizona, Greg, his strength, as you were talking about, is his biggest asset. Helps that he has this incredible arm span. And Clark, you know what? He told me he likes to play the 2K game.
Yeah, he does enjoy that. He likes to play the real game, too, because he's hyper-competitive, and I think he's got a chance to be a superb defender at the NBA level.
Pistons, an entirely new group now out there, and Utah making a change here. Jazz leading by 18. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Hood. He has 7, and that one's good. Hood's got 9 points. 1:02 left in the third quarter. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Dinwiddie kicks to Granger. Passes it to Dinwiddie. They set the screen. There's the triple. Rebound, Utah.
Physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. That plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, not to mention what it says on the scoreboard. They're really pushing them around. Straight bully ball.
Here's Ingles. They lead by 20. That's the most we've seen. He dishes it to George. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Dinwiddie. Lets it go from 11. Second shot opportunity. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
For Detroit, they have been shooting right around 75% at the line. 9 of 12 so far. And he makes the first. Both shots good from the stripe. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Jazz lead by 18. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. And so in the game for the Jazz, Burks the off guard with Hayward at the 3. Then it's Thunder, and it's Ingles in at the 4. Now here's Hayward. 6 to shoot. George. That doesn't go either for George. Pistons trail by 18. Dinwiddie gets to Blake. And that one's good. Blake's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Pistons. Utah has gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight, nailed 5 of them. In the corner, it's Hayward. Looking for George. He gets it there. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. Hayward's got his third assist on the night. And, well, Detroit shooting 32% overall right now. Not one of their better showings. Blake passes the Baines. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Jazz?
From mid-range, it's been a very nice game for them. I mean, they've been finding the bottom of the net a lot.
And you've always heard of guys being in a zone shooting, but you can be in a zone passing the basketball, and we've seen that tonight as well.
Doc, he's checked in for Utah. Both good from the line that time.
Boy, perfect half at the free throw line for them. That'll help their comeback effort for real.
And Clark, those free throws need to continue if they're going to get back in this game.
And the Jazz with possession here. They led the game at one point by 20. Hayward goes in. No good there off the double clutch.
I guess even he has took this one of those once in a while.
About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Blake with it. Now defended by Hayward. Here's Granger. That's good.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
And so it's Utah here with the ball. It's a 14-point game. Hayward dishes to Burks. Leaner from distance. Not enough on that one as it misses.
And he has slipped into a funk, Clark. You can see the confidence is shaken.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's very much deflated. The basket looks a lot smaller to him at this point, and the only way you can get out of it is to work yourself out of it.
Jazz leading by 14. Nato guarded by Blake. Hayward outside. Kicks to George. Back to Hayward. And he uses the glass on the layup. And the Jazz lead by 16.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Here's Dinwiddie. Burks covering. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
Nato guarded by Blake. There's the pick. The pass to Hayward. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Hayward's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
Dishes it to Blake. He feeds it to Bain. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Boy, Blake is so good at finding open teammates.
Outside, George. Hayward goes in, and he gets the bucket. Now Blake. It's stolen. Now here's Burks. He kicks it to George. Nato guarded by Blake. Back to George. Shot clock at 5. Doc the pass to George. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Flush that thing down, young fella.
That is a fierce two-hander.
Maximum force on that dunk.
And it's sent back by George. Jazz leading by 18. There's the screen. Here is Doc. Hayward outside for 3. And it's a foul called on Doc. That's foul number 2 for him. Both teams will make substitutions. Pistons trail by 18. Here's Caldwell Pope. Jackson drives in, and it's sent back by George. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Outside Jackson. There's the pick. To the paint. Kicks it out to Johnson. The 3. No luck. And Utah the other way now. And they're off to Philadelphia after this game as they'll take on the 76ers. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road. Here's Doc. The rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Pass to Jackson from downtown. Good, and it's Johnson with the assist that time. And it's 7 points for Reggie Jackson.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
Here's the monster to the middle. Here's George. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Outside Jackson. Drummond sets the screen for Jackson. Off the pick. Goes back up. And there's the nice layup by Drummond.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Here's the monster. At the elbow, it's George. Here's Doc. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
And they are trying to put the hammer down, attacking the rim whenever they can.
And we've seen some good numbers for Doc. 12 points and 7 assists. I'll tell you what, he's made his mark on this game in so many ways, guys.
And he would have stood out just on the strength of the defense. But how about offensively? He's been clicking there as well. And, guys, you look over the history of the Defensive Player of the Year award, and it usually goes to big men. Big men get the blocks and clog up the paint. But before last season, the last 10 Defensive Player of the Year awards went to bigs.
Here's the monster after the basket by Detroit. Pass to Doc. There's a good screen. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
And since halftime, he has just been ice cold. Just can't seem to get anything to go his way.
Johnson the screen. Tolliver for three. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got his 5th assist in this one. Utah leading by 11. Here's the monster. Stolen by Jackson. And a foul on the monster. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Outside Jackson. Johnson the screen. Jackson kicks to Drummond. Burks with the double team. Drummond dishes to Johnson. And there's another one for the Pistons.
And this offensive explosion has narrowed the gap.
Almost happened too late, partner. I mean, their offense didn't come alive until they were nearly out of it, but it is alive now.
And the Jazz call time here.
And really just trying to take the wind out of their sails here, I think. You know, they're on the wrong end of a run and need to just kind of exhale.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to stop the bleeding. Things were starting to spiral completely out of control, and I think a timeout was a no-brainer there.
Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Quinn Snyder was saying to his team. He was propping his guys up for their defensive pressure, saying, listen, the pressure you put on them has been fantastic. Keep pestering them, keep forcing turnovers, and we'll be in a great position to win this thing.
Here's the monster. They set the pick. The dish now to Burks. Sinks the triple.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
Pistons trail by 12. Inside. And there's Drummond. With an assist by Jackson. 10 points for Andre Drummond.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
Pass to Doc. To the inside. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And, Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Hayward kicks to George. Here's the monster. 6 on the shot clock. From 11 feet away and off the front iron, and in it goes. The monster's got 20.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. We've seen the monster really having a great game.
They don't seem to have any answers for him. They need to review their game plan and look for a way to cool him off.
Jackson with it. In the corner, Drummond with it. Here's Caldwell Pope. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
Well, he had one three-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Here's the monster. There's a screen. Two open that time. Made it look too easy. And that's now 20 points for Gordon Hayward.
And with that three, his second of the half, he's equaled his total from before the break.
Holman here now for an injury report. Let's get an update on Drummond. What's the status there, Davis?
Thanks, Kevin. I just talked with the Pistons head athletic trainer. He told me that it doesn't look too serious. If he were to miss significant time, it would really hurt this team that depends on him for so many things. Guys, time will tell.
All right, Doris. Really appreciate you finding out how he's doing.
And, you know, I know everyone is rooting for him to make a quick and full recovery.
Absolutely. I mean, his teammates want him back out there as much as he wants to be back out there.
3 on the clock. That's tipped. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
Detroit ball.
And a different look here for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Granger comes in for Johnson. Spencer Dinwiddie's checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Jackson. Here is Tolliver. They can't stop the run with that one.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look. And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Jazz.
Clark, the difference.
Adjust by moving the ball like that, and there was no answer for it.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
It sure is. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
And while it's a team game, you can't win without guys showing up. And that was the case tonight for the Monster. You have to focus on the steals he came up with. They were huge factors in the end result.
You really have to like the work they put in at the free throw line here in the half. I mean, they've been really aggressive in drawing fouls, and then they've been able to knock down their free throws.
Detroit's got a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the fourth. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Granger kicks to Tolliver. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. There's 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Right wing. And here we go. The Pistons fast break. Here's Granger. Rebounded by the Jazz. They led the game at 1 point by 20. Now the pass to Vaughn. .15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here is Doc. Granger covering. There's the pick. And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And that about wraps it up. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now we send you to the award-winning Ernie Johnson, who's standing by in our studio.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson. Got Shaquille O'Neal, got Kenny the Jet Smith. Without further ado, let's take a look at our Jordan Player of the Game.
There was nothing Greg could do to slow him down, Ernie. Man, going to a building on the road and completely control the action like he did, only a few players could do that, Ernie. I'm impressed.
There's no doubt about it. This guy is a leader. He was in attack mode all night, calling for it and delivering in some big big plays and baskets. His point total shows everything that I'm talking about. The defense was like, what am I going to do? And he was like, nothing, because I'm toying with you.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night, everybody.